I want to talk about a little subject in business today that I have planned. It's a little bit of an extension of what I had to say last month. So I think you guys know I've done so many different markets and so many different styles in business throughout the past 30 years. I've been in museum exhibits, I've been in really low-end work built in China, lines of work, in fashion, in exhibiting, in dance, in cultural, in having a line for these medium commercial high-end stores. So I just every month want to talk a little bit about this. So this month I do want to hit a little bit more on branding and go a little bit deeper, but I also want to talk about the two sides of business that really is required, or the two sides of your life in being an artist. What are your two sides? It's like if you really break it down, in every company there is an artist and there is the business person. So there's the CEO and the president, more or less. And this information came to me as I was talking to my daughter, and she was asking me questions because when you are an accountant, you're on your way, like your pathway and your trajectory could be president of the company because you're linear, you can think numbers and keep straight in that left brain. If you are an artist and you're coming up with ideas and you're an idea person, your trajectory is the CEO of the company. And the CEO directs where your company is going to. It directs kind of the fun way, where you're going to sell to, what your marketing looks like, where you're going to, who's your audience is the CEO. How do we get there? How do we get to our audience? How do we build this? What products do we build? The president of the company is worried about how expensive is this? How can we afford to do it? What's the bottom line? What's all the steps that it takes to get there? So I want to talk a little bit about how I built my product, ice resin. So with ice resin, and also I have a product in mind right now, but with ice resin, it's like, okay, I went out and I started teaching resin. I loved resin. I embraced resin. Here I am, an artist, loving resin. Can I bring it in as a product? So I'm thinking, how can I bring this in as a product? Will this work? Well, my artist is like, at the time, it's like I was 100% artist and I was on fire, like, I'm gonna make this work. It was a big project. I had to create a lot of education. I just worked completely from being a CEO. So I had to create education. I had to create an interest. I saw people interested. I was going out teaching and I saw people interested. I saw people wanting to learn this product. The things that I was doing with it looked like fun and people wanted to jump on board and they were enjoying themselves with resin. Okay, now I had to turn to the president in me and I had to make a decision on, can I afford to build a product like this? Where can I go? So I started with a resin engineer to see if I can somehow take an existing product and remix it and put in, so you can mix them in smaller batches for jewelers and just a lot of different vocabulary and what I needed. So it's like, for me, I realized I needed, I really needed a non-toxic. I needed, I needed a product where they could be safe, because a lot of us artists were working at home with our kids. Some people have studios, some people don't. It's like, I know I certainly worked out of my home when I had my kids, because then I could get in and out as quick as possible and not have that extra drive when they were at school. It's like you just use all your time as efficiently as you possibly can. So it's like, for your company, you want to think about either roles of the decision maker and you want to think of roles as the artist. So now for people who want to get into their studio and be an artist or be a jeweler or be an artist, or a creator, so your expectations can safely be, you really want to try to keep it at 50%. There's many different ways you can go. I know so many people in the field, like there are people who do 90% in studio time and the other 10% they hire a rep, or they hire, someone really to rep their work, or, their sales reps and things like that, where they can just be in the studio all the time. That works beautifully, and I'll get into details there. And I'm also like talking about, I'm actually getting all this information together on a business course. And I am teaching a business course right now. It's a very private business course, and it's pretty cool. So I just do little takeoffs here and there from my course that also can help our little group that's in there, that's becoming strong in who we are and who we are as artists, business people, and all of it. So it's like, when you're in your studio, you think of yourself as the CEO. You're coming up with ideas, you're doing your work. When you get into your most beautiful work, as we know, because I say over and over, and here we are in unfolding, use this energy work in here. Make sure you use this energy work to get clear, so you can get in and get at your bench and do your work. Do this CEO, this creative work that expresses yourself, because the clearer you can be through these 12-minute Kriyas, all these Kriyas so far has been set up for 12 minutes. So you can get in, get out, get the breathing in, get the body movement done, be as clear as possible in 12 minutes. So when you stand in front of your studio, you can get right into your creative brain. So this is using your creative brain and just do your work. So for me, it's like I either wake up as a CEO or I wake up as a president. When I have a discussion like this, I do my business talks and business meetings, all kinds of business meetings, all on the same day. Linear papers, and because this is requiring my left brain. So still, you can get in and do this grounding work. So, when we're talking about energy, it's not, when you're using these Kriyas, it's not always about going up into the sky. The CEO goes up into the sky, pulls down these ideas, we bring them up to earth, we stand at our bench, and then this left brain of ours helps us to be grounded, and there's energy work for grounding, helps ground you so you can bring these beautiful ideas into your work. Like how do you take air and turn it into the physical, right? Magic. That's all, just magic. So anyway, then the president, so as the president, like today I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, my book is on Amazon. I need to make sure I contact some people, ask them to put up a review. I start off in this type of a mode. I knew I was going to be in left brain. I actually am done building my body of work, and that I'm having a jewelry sale with, that at this time when you guys are watching it, the sale should be, up and posted, but, or the drop, so it's like today I'm just thinking more about the president side of things, about what's the bottom line? How can I make this a reality? How can I bring in the money that it takes to keep me in business, to keep me, to keep this artist side of me up and going and useful. So this side of me, the artist, the right brain, has to worry about staying clear, staying creative, bringing in the ideas. This business person, and I probably wake up as a business person 2 times a week, the creative person 2 times a week, and then, whatever I need for that 5th day. Because I try to do my studio days or my business 5 days a week. Sure, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go have fun and work all day on Saturday, in my studio. And that's fun, as long as I'm doing fun and I'm done with business. So when I get to my Mondays, I hit the ground running. And sometimes Mondays I can get away with a wide open creative day because I don't schedule meetings. There's no meetings. Things are quiet. And if I have people contact me, I push it all over to Tuesday. You can push your meetings, your left brain, over to Tuesdays. When I get in on Tuesday, I have Connie comes in to ship, Stephanie and I meet on social media, Christina and I meet for marketing. I meet with whoever I'm gonna meet with. I try to, keep phone calls and all my business stuff and things like that on Tuesdays, So those 2 days are pretty sure that's how I'm working my days, and I love it. It really works for me. So you just kind of have to fumble around and see which one works for you, whether you're going to show up as the CEO or whether you're going to show up as the president. They're both needed. I enjoyed both of these. The way that I teach building businesses, and the way that I have built my own businesses is really by the same way I build a piece of jewelry, in layers and steps, one step at a time. You get the creative work up there, you do the rest of it. One of the things that I want you guys to see, because with this last jewelry drop that I'm talking about, which this is really fun to see. I want you guys to see the evidence of it all, So it's like with this jewelry drop that I had March 30th, which time has passed since then, but there might be pieces or writing. You guys can go back and see the line. I planned holistically as my brand with the left and the right brain, used a lot of time to put together a symphony of layers. And tell me if you guys can see this. I actually did, I built, just went in for like a couple months and just built this, whatever I wanted to do as a line. Afterwards, I took a look at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I think that it felt like new work. It felt fresh. It felt like some of my new things coming out. I felt fresh. So then I was like, what do I feel like? What is this? What do I feel like as I'm building this line? This is where you have to get out your journal and you're messily just writing your journal, writing in there, whether you're just purging things out or whether you're marking down pertinent information. When I do my Kriyas, I'm fresh. When I do my yoga, I'm fresh. I can put my information right down, journaling. Then when I'm really in left brain, I kind of gather this information, pick out beautiful words that go along with the story, and I can tell a story from my journal blurbs, and then I'm on the computer, left brain, on my computer putting together my story. So you guys will see with this line, I put together a story of my travels and what this line really is about and feels like. We all know what it feels like. When we're in our right brain, we know what our work feels like because it feels like us, who we are, So I got that down, and don't doubt that. And the more, that's why it's like unfolding, the more you can get into knowing yourself deeper and deeper and deeper with the Kriyas and the breath work and all of this, the more you can be a stronger brand for yourself and put together your drops, So then on top of that, I met with my social media person, Stephanie. We talked about angles, what kind of looks we wanted, and she did a photo shoot that was beautiful. Brought in a model. You guys can look at the photo shoot on there. It's a lookbook. I photographed the pieces close up on how, the angles. So everything is about the angles. You know what I mean? It's like I had these long totems, and it's like, how do you get those into the photo is your left brain saying that. Like, how do I let my customers see this in my photo? And also, how do I show them to the best of their ability? Beautiful pieces like these earrings, like how do I get all of this? How do I get the look? So my models described how I felt. The models are a description, and the props and everything with it was also a visual way to describe my line that I'm presenting, my body of work. Let's say a body of work that I'm presenting this on March 31st, okay? So then after that, it is the thing of getting my prices down, getting descriptions in for all of these, and getting timing set up and getting my team ready. So what came with it was close-up photography, model photography, writing the actual pieces. I also showed up and did Christina's on there. She showed the live pieces. Look at the whole picture, you guys. For those of us in unfolding, I'm so happy. I'm sure there was a lot of you guys that ended up purchasing a piece, and thank you so much. But also I want you guys to, if you see a beautiful piece, it's always good to have that energy with you, But also for our group in here, and because I'm doing this business talk, I want you guys to go in and just take a look at it holistically as your left brain and right brain and see how you can weave these together and see how this can help you out, with your brand and with your look. All of these elements work hand in hand and just build on each other. So anyway, I hope that helped you guys out this month. Each month there'll be a little step like this. So, okay, I hope you guys enjoy.